Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Today I'm starting a series on explaining borrowing against assets. And that's going to lead into learning how to borrow against your cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency, in some forms, is considered an asset. So what I'm going to talk about as I'm at the whiteboard today, I'm going to talk about borrowing against an asset. I'm going to use the example, before I get into the example, not financial advice. Nothing I say here or do is financial advice. It's just me, the whiteboard, drawing as much as I can, as big as I can make it for you to look at. And we're going to talk about a basic example, which most people know, which is borrowing against houses. So afford me a little bit of license to move around here as I draw, but the focus is on the board, not me. So if I'm out of frame, well, so be it. So we're going to start with houses. One house. I own two houses. I'm an investor, and I own two houses. Okay, I own two houses that aren't my own, but this is like my company owns two houses. So I have two houses. Okay. All right, I own two houses in my company. I go to Mr. Banker and I say, Mr. Banker, right? I have assets of I own two houses free and clear. So they look at bank statements and that sort of thing, and they just say, like, you have an asset. These two houses are assets. What you're looking for is you would like a loan against those assets so that you can have more money to work with, otherwise known as a credit line. So first, the traditional way is like you go to the bank and say, hey, I've got these, I don't want to overextend myself. So what I want to do is I want to take these assets and I want to get, a modest loan. So let's put one house. Mr. Banker, I'm going to put one of the two houses. We are working through a new relationship, so I'm going to put one house, right? One house in as my asset against the loan that you're going to give me, and you're going to give me a mortgage, right? Pardon me, it's all right sideways. I'm trying to squeeze it all in there. So I'm going to need a mortgage against my asset, okay? So, and then I'm going to have buffer, all right? I'm going to call that, and there's going to be, so the first thing I have is I have the one house, and the banker says, you know what, I don't know you very well, and I understand you're popular in this town, and you do a lot of investing and such, but we never had a banking relationship, so I'm going to be very conservative. Now, your house, let's say your house, both the houses, to make it easy to do the math, they're both worth $100,000, okay? Like I say, $100K each. All right? Could be less, could be more, doesn't matter, it's just an example. But $100,000 house. So I have a collateral of $100K. All right? Mr. Banker, I own this whole house. $100K is worth free and clear. He said, well, you know what? I am concerned about, so I want to be conservative, and I think you do too. So let's go 50% loan to value, right? 50% loan to value, and I'll give you a loan for $50K, right? So I have my loan to value, or LTV, is $50,000 of a loan that he gives me over my value of the house, over my asset, which is $100K. 50 divided by 100, that's 50%. So my loan to value is 50%. Okay? Now, I have one more thing every month is I have to service this debt. I have a debt now. So I'm going to have to be making payments. So let's just say I had, I've got more equity here or whatever, but I've got to make payments. So a traditional way is that somehow I have to make payments on whatever this interest is. And I'm going to say it's 0.5% a month. That's like about 6% a year. So 0.5% a month, 1% would be $500. So say I have to pay $250 a month. So I have a liability of $50,000. I have a payment of $250. That was terrible. I'm going to try that 5 again. Pardon me as I write sideways and here. I'm going to make a payment of $250 a month for 30 years against that loan. So that's my liability. So let's just say over the course of a year, I'd be paying $3,000 to service that debt of $50,000, but I have $50,000 of working capital because that loan gave me another asset of $50,000. Right. So on my balance sheet, I have a loan of $50,000 that the bank gave me against the house. So I started with a house that's worth $100K. I have an asset. Now I have a mortgage. It's a liability in the form of a loan. And I also have a payment liability in the form of a payment every month. But I do have an asset because this loan I can put right back into the bank account for simplistic purposes. Obviously, I'm going to use that because I'm running my business. But at the beginning, I have $50,000 of another asset because they gave me $50,000 of a mortgage. We started with a house. They gave me a loan at 50% loan to value. I have $50,000 as an asset now because that's the loan that goes right into the bank account. Then it can be used elsewhere. And I have this payment I have to make every month. That is how an asset-backed lending works in the world of real estate. So as I continue these discussions and these lessons, I'm going to be moving this into the world of cryptocurrency. So if you understand this, if you don't understand this and have any questions, that's what the comments are for. Please leave a message down below on the video. Let me know what you think about this. Do you understand this example? Do you understand that, yes, I understand that you can probably get higher loan-to-value mortgages. Most people borrow 80 to 95% of houses. But I wanted to use 50% for a reason. And I just wanted to use the math. Oh, the math worked out nicely. Again, these are example numbers. But I said, I've got this, I've got all of this, and I've got this backing. And then I'm just going to go and now move this over to the crypto in the next lesson. So if you have any questions, again, use the comments. Hopefully you found this video valuable, and then you'll stay tuned for the next part of the series as we go towards the next lesson of borrowing against your assets. So, lot said today. I'm going to close the drawer on the bureau, say follow the leader one last time, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.